Hello, guys. I'm Gleidson Martins in San Francisco, and I have the pleasure to talk with Laura Kimpton. She's an amazing artist. I have the opportunity to meet her last year. Hey, Laura, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. I'm making art of a storm.
Oh, wow.
It's my biggest push of art I've ever made. I think was I used to be a huge flame artist. I was a
Mm,
Flaming Lotus girl at first, and then I started. I had not, Jeff Schomburg and I had 9 things on fire: methanol, propane, from 4 feet to 100 feet. And we came home, and he said, "I need a break." And I'm like,
mm,
okay, I need to come up with a simpler concept because I'm not losing my truck. Because when you're an artist, you get to use your truck. And I thought it would be funny. And I could go into every museum and every place I've been in. I've never seen a big word but Hollywood. And I thought it'd be funny for a dyslexic to get known for big words, because words are which kind of held me back. I love it now that I don't have that many words like everybody else does in my head. And so I did mom backwards as my
mm.
first word.
Well, I have to say, I really love your art pieces. I think you're an amazing artist. There is another pieces like we did the stories with you with the XOXO
Yep.
and then the haha.
Yeah.
They were so funny. And also, I'm just watching, seeing your background. I had that picture which I stole from you, Facebook
Which
or
one?
Instagram. Believe
Which
on
one?
my page for a long time
Oh, good.
because
Yeah.
it's such a
So,
strong.
so Peter Rubrick sent me that as a text to say which one do I want, because he owed me a print, and I said I want that. He wanted me to pick one of them. I'm like, I want what you just sent me. I want it all. So we printed that big. Yeah. So Peter and I
Wow,
work together a
yeah,
lot.
I love.
So are you aware of my other work too? But I mean,
I'm,
I've done. Did you see my Bee Art Monkey out there?
no, I didn't see that one.
So I've done a lot of other work, and then I'm mostly an assemblage, a collage, Rauschenberg resin artist.
Huh? No, I didn't
So
know that.
yeah, so
Huh?
the birds are one thing I just do, but they're the most popular because they get the most press. So,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
yeah,
Oh, that's lovely. I didn't know that one. I need to check
I mean,
out.
if you just look right here, right now, that's my resin area in my living room.
Oh my gosh, how
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. So
I love
making
that.
cool
Yeah.
stuff.
I'm from a small town in Brazil called
Okay.
Araguari. And I remember when I was on my early 20s, we don't have a theater in my town where I grew up. And I remember there's this guy, his name is Kim. He used to bring a lot of artists to the town to spend like 4 or 5 days, like brainstorming, doing some plays in a theater or like just make arts. It's like, and it was just fascinating because I didn't grow up with that.
Oh yeah.
And
So
then
good.
be able when I moved here, and then after a while, I'm still trying to learn English, which is not. I don't have good ears
Seems like
for
you're doing
language.
pretty good.
Forgive me for my English, but
Yeah.
when I start working with arts here, covering artists, interviewing them, and I was just got fascinated, and then I had the pleasure to meet you,
Yeah.
and I was just
I'm
like,
so glad I came in for that. That was so good.
yeah, that was really good. That was really,
Yeah.
really good. And so, how are you dealing with the pandemic as an artist?
It's crazy. So as I was saying before, that my dog started barking. I was only home 36 days last year. I mean, I'm traveling all the time.
Wow.
So it's so good to ground me. And then also, I've I've kind of gotten back to my old way of making art, because I really hadn't made any art in 2 years, because the words aren't made by me anymore because they have to have a licensed welder. So I obviously pick out the words always, and like haha and everything, but I can't weld them because I'm not licensed, and then go to cities. So I really just was out schmoozing and selling and working, and I got away from my essence. So being in lockdown is so good for me because creativity has exploded.
Wow. Does that mean we're going to see new pieces
Well,
maybe this year or next year?
they're all very small, and I'm making it. Well, I'm making two different. I started a project called a piece of Kimpton, and it's on Instagram. And every day I put up 3 pieces for sale. So it's like a necklace or one of my resin arts or an art piece I made for really reasonable, from like $40 to $400. And I haven't sold an art piece less than $18,000 in the last 10 years. So it's really cool to be able to spread my art to people that normally couldn't afford my art. So I'm making things that are kind of like collectibles with birds and words on it. And then I'm also making pieces for a solo show that I'm going to have in Mexico City.
When are you having a show in Mexico City?
Everything's up in the air for everything. So first I have to, got picked. Kit Radobush and I got picked as the main artist for Art With Me down in Tulum. So I'm building 2 huge sculptures down there. But again, when anything is going to happen, we don't know. And I'm making smaller pieces, which are kind of fun. And so my show, obviously, I'll have like my last solo was in New York, and a big one, a huge one. We demolished a 6-foot ego with sledgehammers. I always make my openings, like I do them every 2 years, and I always make them performance and something else. I can't be just standing around with cheap wine. It drives me crazy because I'm also known for throwing good parties. So I'll do something wild, and there'll be big pieces on the wall, but I'm also making a lot of little pieces. So I'll be back. I'll show you one of my favorites.
Oh, good. Thank you.
So I find I collect assemblage junk and art. And so half of it's junk, half of it's art. So this one, I'll see from there. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, I can see Brazil there.
Oh yeah. I chose to have it there. So this says home on it.
Oh yeah, there. I can see.
Yeah, and then it has a crown on it, and then my birds are kind of in a Celtic thing all the way around. So pieces like this I'm making.
Ah, that's lovely. I love birds too.
Well, I have all those birds that are cut out of the words.
Yeah. Huh. So how long does it take? What is the process for you to start creating something? Like when do you start brainstorm?
Like with that piece, that's my whole, every piece I've ever made, that's a message that Earth is our home and we better remember it. I had no idea that that's what was going to come out of it. It just, I always have suitcases full of antique junk stuff, and then I just open them up and I start making.
What I love about your art, your pieces, the words ones, it's because it has so much like a powerful message. And I guess I think you have one in downtown San Francisco, the love one, right?
Yeah, a Rainbow Love.
The Rainbow
at the Apple Store.
Exactly.
Well, it's really Hyatt bought it. Hyatt owns all that property. It's in the courtyard between the Apple Store and Hyatt.
Absolutely.
And it's on. I guess it's great. And I also have another piece, but it's on Google's tour guide, which is cool. That to go and see it. Oh. They have what to see in San Francisco. And then the one I have a red love under the Venetian waterfall in Vegas, and it got #1 place to take a selfie.
Well, I gotta say the pieces I've seen in San Francisco or New York, they make a really good background picture. When I was at Apple in San Francisco,
centaur. I have a centaur in Dogpatch. Other stuff.
Well, I love them. So you were talking about festivals. So you're been with Burning Man for 15 years, right?
Yep.
So this is one. Is it the first year that we're not gonna have the festival?
It's the first year. Yes. Yeah. Totally. But I was gonna put out a piece, but I wasn't gonna go. So I said goodbye to the Playa.
Why, if I may ask?
Well, I can tell you last year was my second favorite year. So it's just getting too big. Yeah, I can't be in a place with that much chaos without having somebody I can call. And there's nobody you can call anymore. So I could get Miriam to come and get me out of trouble. Not that I got in trouble last year, so for a ridiculous thing. So and my daughter wanted a loan, and I just decided that I'd given 15 years of my life. I mean, I came in twice happily married and left twice with new husbands. So I've given a lot of my life to it, and my daughter kind of wants it alone. And I don't party anymore. So I went to bed at 9:30 every night.
What are the changes you saw during all these years?
Well, interesting enough, so I started with fire art, where there used to be tons of projected flame art out there. That's where I joined in 2003, and that was all the main thing. We would go from projected flame art piece to each one. And now there's not much because most of us all went to LEDs because it's so hard to do projected flame. I did projected flame out of my love piece. I did a pyramid of flaming love. So I did, and then before my words, I did tons of projected flame. So then it started going into LEDs. And for a while, it kind of felt like a junior high feeling. Like, didn't really get it. And then 2018, oh my God, people killed it with LEDs. It was off the charts. I think one reason 2019 wasn't that great is people were holding back for 2020. So, but 2018, best art I've ever seen in my entire life. Like I got to experience 600 droids.
Wow.
In the era where they would become one art piece, and then they become stars, and then they become aliens, and it was amazing. And then a forest of LEDs that you go in and you get lost and you forget where you are. So the LEDs kind of ended up changing and going amazing. What? But then the problem now that's happening with Burning Man is it's a possible ticket to get, and it used to not be. And then land is impossible to get. So it used to be a tribal way of whatever I have is yours. Whatever I have, anything like giving was the most important part. And I'm growing up in the Grateful Dead. My favorite part was going around to everybody and getting their tickets and going out and miracle people in the parking lot. That was my favorite thing. And so I could go out there with 30 tickets sometimes back in the day, the people had pre-tickets. And so Burning Man, the gifting part of Burning Man was so important to me. We give out our birds. I sit there and give out birds. And so, do you want a piece of this word, believe or magic? And so now, because everybody is so hard to get land and tickets, they're like, this is my spot. This is my spot. And it's very different.
I'm really looking forward to see your next piece. I can't wait to see it.
Well, the two pieces, I think the next two big sculptures I'll make are going to be in Tulum. And I told them when they brought me down there that I wasn't going to give them word. I would do word art. And so I'm making two really cool pieces down there. So one's a word forest, kind of like that LED forest, but there's steel, rolled steel with words cut out and birds cut out. You wander through there with the lights shining through them. And another one is a beach umbrella 30 feet tall on its side with the parts of the umbrella have inspirational quotes that will shine down on you.
Wow.
So I'm gonna do that. That'll be the first thing I do, because that's if the world goes back to letting festivals happen, I'll do that. And then Burning Man, I'll do the 30 foot, Amberson.
Wow, I'm really.
But right now I'm making small.
Yeah. And you said it's in Mexico City? Is that where you're saying?
Yeah, in Mexico City. I can't talk about what it is or where it is or anything yet, but because we're in conversation and everything kind of shut down in the middle of when I was in Tulum, everything got shut down but I think choosing Mexico City is a very smart thing for me because people come from everywhere, and I've never done a solo outside of America, so I was trying to figure out which one. And I think Mexico City is great because you got Europeans, you got everybody that comes through.
Oh, it's a beautiful city. Their architecture, it's just gorgeous.
And my story is good. They would like my story, and so I think they would like my art. Yeah. So I think I love Tulum. So, and the people in Tulum are connected, so it would be a connection of the two together. So.
Wonderful. Well, I can't wait to see those two sculptures. And also, I hope to see you in the Bay Area very soon too.
Yeah, I have to come up pretty soon, but because my daughter's up there, I haven't seen her in a while. But I'm still in lockdown because I'm going to wait for the next wave to see what happens before I go out.
Absolutely. Well,
just because of my diabetes, I have no choice. So, well, thank you so much for interviewing me. Sorry, it was difficult.
Oh no, it wasn't difficult at all.
No, I mean, to get me on, and not difficult. This part, get me on.
No, I'm very happy for your time. I truly appreciate it. And thank you so much for your work, your arts.
Yeah. And I would say anybody out there that's struggling, really just buy a paint by number on Amazon. It'll be there in 2 days, and do it. It's just filling in color, and that will make you stop. It'll quiet your voice of worry, because even I learned very early on that worry doesn't ever do anything for you. It only hurts. So it'll stop your worry. And we have no idea what's going to happen when we turn back on. We have no idea.
Yeah, well,
It could be
that is
way
true.
better for some people. It could be worse. I don't know.
Well, that is
My
true.
heart goes out to anybody that who's having struggles with that. And I'm really sorry.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not easy for a lot of people, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, we lost so many people because
Yeah.
of the virus, and the families out there. Our prayers go to them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so, yeah.
You know. Well,
That's why I
thank
wish
you
I could
so
put a
much.
love in every hospital. Wouldn't that be so cool?
Yes, 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 and also believe. I love that one. Believe.
Well, interesting. Believe year was the one year I didn't go out year. Believe year because my daughter started high school in the city, so I wanted to be there. But Believe year, I built Believe because it was the year my daughter was 15 and getting in car was with boys that were 16, and I just had to believe she was going to be okay. I just had to
Well,
believe. That's the reason I did that one for that.
well, it's a powerful word. Thank you so much, Laura. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, suggestions, please let us know at tips@newsupnow.org. It's right here, tips@newsupnow.org. And I hope to see you next time.